And recap. So I just started posing because I didn't really know what I was going to do to the scene besides that. And I'd said previously, multiple times actually, that I was going to move these guys into a new pose. When those dogs get going, like, there's no convincing them that the shadow that started this whole thing is some incorporeal thing that they can't do anything about. And it was basically just posing. Like, this is just gonna be for that day. I'm also gonna repose the TV and the fox. All right, straight into it. So for this Blender session, it's nothing but posing. I sat down and I was thinking, do I want to add food items? Do I want to add like a garland or something? And I couldn't bring myself to do it. I am just the tiniest bit of burnt out. It's not because I'm doing too much in Blender and I'm just getting frustrated and it's just the events of elsewhere that I kind of carry back to my desk, and then when I look at Blender, it's just kind of like this goes away into oblivion through the floor. So I don't know what's going on there, but this way it works and I can control it now. Then it was just a process of bouncing between the timeline and the view layer display mode off in the corner. And just kind of giving objects visibility keyframe. All right. Today was round 3 in what feels like a marathon of clinic visits. And for me, it was just a bunch of waiting around in the lobbies of said clinics. But I got to kind of reflect and just kind of realize that there's a lot of forms, there's a lot of paperwork that you have to kind of fill out. And that's understandable for the first visit, but then you have to kind of refill them out in subsequent visits. Garland, I guess it's called. So I set up a wire and then I do what I've done before, which is just do a vertex line and then add some skin modifier to that with a little bit of subsurface division. And then I did what I've been trying to avoid for a very long time, which is add a particle simulation. In this case, it's a hair simulation. On this episode of I Did Stuff in Blender, I just kind of did a little bit of cleanup. I'm actually going to be over here today because it was a lot of timeline stuff. So I basically just went through and made sure that the cameras of my days actually correlated to frames around here so that I can scrub through the timeline and just have it snap to the camera and to the appropriate objects that should be visible on that day. But then we move inside for day 2, where we have a relatively empty situation going on and our little buddy's not all that happy about it. Day 5. Today I tackled the not so difficult, but it's more technical, so for me it's kind of difficult. But the challenge of moving some objects and some assets to a different scene and or to a different view layer. If I just leave the render view on, but I disable it in the viewport, and then I hit render, and then just give it a moment. Okay. So, there it is. We have the entire scene, but it did take a little while to render, but we have the entire scene and Blender didn't crash. And that's the recap. The videos can be seen in their full length and full context over here. Tyler in progress.